What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today. Excuse me, y'all. It is your boy JB, and I am here today with a brand new review for Love and Marriage Detroit. This is season one, you guys, and this is episode number 6, you guys. So, before we go ahead and jump into this episode, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, you guys, and you guys aren't yet subscribed to the channel, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop checking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss Love and Marriage Detroit, shall we? All right, you guys. So this episode it opens up where we last left off, and that was with the conversation between Brandon, Christina, and what's his name, Anthony, aka Antonia. And I still have the same sentiment and the same feelings that I had after last week's episode with not with Brandon, but with Anthony. He is just somebody that I just don't necessarily see it for, and I can literally do without him. Literally, I can do without Anthony on this show. He's just not it for me personally. That's just where I'm at with it. He's not my cup of tea. So, much like I said last week, I was team Brandon and Christina. I'm still team Brandon and Christina because I don't understand what the issue is with Anthony. And Anthony's talking about how he doesn't trust Brandon. And I'm like, you don't trust him, but what did he do? It's like Christina said, it feels as if you're piggybacking off of, previous things that have happened. And it's just kind of annoying to me. And like I said last week, I have a problem with the fact that I am literally on Christina and Brandon's side with this situation. Like, I don't understand where Anthony is coming from, and I'm probably not going to understand where Anthony is coming from. So like I said, they were having a bit of a back and forth. They just kept going back and forth about this, right? So at one point, it's just like I said, it's just the repetitive back and forth for me is just driving me crazy. Anthony is just a little and he's a bitch, aka a Mitch, right? So after that, we move over to Anthony and Latoya. So Anthony is asking Latoya, how was the party? And so she told him that the party was good. There was no drama, and she likes no drama. So I want people's opinions about Latoya. I think she's, and for this show, I don't think she's a good fit for the show because she's very plain Jane to me. I know when it comes to reality TV, you don't need someone who is, always in the drama and everything, but you do need someone who has some kind of a personality, who brings something to the show. And for me, I just don't think that Latoya brings anything to the show besides, her medical background. But other than that, she's just kind of boring. So she then asked not Anthony, how did the meeting go with, Christina and with Brandon? So he wants to say that they were throwing some accusations out. And I was like, the only person that was really throwing accusations out was you. Like, you made accusations at Brandon, not the other way around. So I was just a little bit confused by that one when he kept saying that, they were throwing accusations around, because I was just a little on the confused side. Like, you are the one that's calling Brandon disloyal. Now, here's the thing that I will say about that loyalty comment, right? So, if you felt like Brandon was so not loyal to Russell in the moment at the roller skating rink, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you check it then and there? But instead, you waited until the opportunity presented itself for you, beneficial, so that you could basically snake this man when it comes to this when it comes to snaking this man. Like, that's really what I feel about that. Hey Monique, how you doing this morning? But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Like, Do you guys see where I'm coming from when it comes down to it? Like, do you guys see where I'm coming from? What's up, Harold? I'm having a good morning today. How about you? But yeah, I want you guys to tell me, do you guys see where I'm coming from when it comes to Anthony? I think Anthony is one playing up reality TV, number one, and I think that he is doing anything he can to make a scene, and it's just kind of at this point really getting on my nerves because for him to sit there and say that Brandon and Christina made so many accusations, it's like no, you were the one that was making accusations. And like I just said, if Anthony felt any type of way about how the Colby cat comment, you should have said it in the moment when they were still there. You should have addressed it instead of waiting to now to bring it up. So I will say, when it comes to Dr. Like I said a few minutes ago, I do like Dr. Latoya, but this goes back to my point last week that I was talking about when they were talking about that every time that they've had a group event, that Brandon and Christina are the ones who are at the center of all the issues, which is true. That is true that Brandon and Christina are there at the issue, the root cause of it, right? But if we go back to Brandon and Christina's anniversary party, Colby is the one who brought up the fact that you know, Brandon had an artist and that set Christina off. At the opulence wine tasting, that was Antonia, aka Anthony, who mentioned that him, Bravo, and Russell were in the club that night before. And then that set Christina off. And then Christina's friend Chelsea chimed in. And then Anthony got into it with Chelsea. And nobody ever checked that. So I just have an issue with that. Like it's a contradiction. It's like it's beneficial when you can use it to your advantage, and that's what I feel happens with Anthony. And then Latoya doesn't call him out on this stuff. It's like, now I know I see a lot of people on social media saying, well, maybe she calls him out behind closed doors. That's fine and dandy, but in this moment, you can say to your husband like, yo, you were wrong, especially when he was arguing with Chelsea. Somebody could have stepped up to that man and said, that is a woman that you arguing with. Why are we doing this, right? So yeah, and for them to put everything on Brandon and Christina, I'm just not feeling it. But let me know what you guys think in the live chat and in the comment section about that. So the next thing we have is Colby and Russell, you guys. No, when it comes to Colby and Russell, the more I look at this couple right here, the more I see Marceau and Letitia from Love and Marriage Huntsville, because the way he does this, his wife, is just a little jarring to me. The fact that he makes so many decisions, and he doesn't even have any kind of a conversation with his wife until he's either ready to execute or he's already pulled the trigger, so to speak, right? So you guys remember that he wants to own a gym. So we saw him, he was working out, and then Colby was telling him she got a day of content creation planned where she is going to be doing a headshot and she's going to be planning some stuff out, right? And then he told her that he wants to go down to the gym and negotiate a deal with the person who owns the gym. And I was like, wait a minute, and see if she didn't. I don't know if she caught what he said in the last episode when he said he's about 85% sold on the gym. I was like, that was it right there. The fact that he said he's 85% sold on this gym, and so he wants to negotiate a deal. And I'm like, how do you do this stuff and you have a whole wife at home, but you're not sitting down with your wife and having the conversation with your wife? It makes it like your wife is a second class citizen in your relationship. Like you don't value her thoughts, you don't value her opinions. And I mean, let's just keep it a buck. I'm gonna be honest and don't feel any type of way about this, but when I look at Russell, Russell legitimately gives me short yellow bus when I look at that man. When I look at him, when I hear him talk, it just screams the short yellow bus that he rode to school. Because, but like I said, it's like he demeans her because everything he does, he doesn't think about her. It's all about him. It's self satisfaction. The fact that he like and like she said later in the episode, you're making a major purchase, but obviously your husband doesn't see you as a contributing factor, I guess, in this household. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he feels like he holds all the power with the purse strings or what. But when it comes down to making major decisions, he doesn't I don't it's like he doesn't value your input, or he doesn't care about what you think or feel. Or it could be a situation where he feels like it's my money and I do what I want to do with it. I don't know what it is, but the fact that he's this is the second time he's done, well, now the third time technically, because the first time was him going to divinity school. Then he had already looked at the gym, and now he wants to go make an offer on the gym. And I just looking at Russell, no shade to him, I don't even know if you can run the day-to-day operations of a gym, because when that guy was telling you about running the gym, you look like it was second nature, second nature, like you didn't understand it and stuff. So I'm just I'm not I don't rock with Russell too much, because it's just a lot when it comes to Russell. And like I said, short yellow bus vibes is what I get from him. Short yellow bus vibes are definitely what I get from Russell. Harold says Russell uses the Bible and religion to his advantage when it comes to making decisions under the guise of I'm a man, so I lead, with totally ignoring Kobe's feelings about anything. That's exactly what he does. He uses the Bible to justify the things that he does. And that's also one of the things about this show that I'm over. It's like the misogyny, it's just so much stuff when you look at this show that I'm not necessarily feeling. And he says Kobe is all alone because her parents feel the same way Russell does. Yes, yes. When I saw her mama in that scene where we met her parents, when she went to have that conversation with them about him going to divinity school, and they defended, I was like, ugh. I was like, I'm not. I wasn't shocked at all, especially when I saw her dad and her mama was just sitting there. I was like, girl, your parents probably are okay with this because this is their relationship as well. Like, I do feel bad for Kobe, but in the same sense, I don't, because in the next scene we see with Kobe, she's talking to her friend Chelsea, and she's telling Chelsea about her and Christina, right? And I do want to point one thing out about Kobe and Christina, because Latoya mentioned it earlier when she was with Anthony about the fact that Christina did not call Kobe and it was her birthday. Let me put this out here real quickly. If we have an argument with each other and you walk away from me and we don't talk, I'm not reaching out to you for just because it's your birthday. I'm not reaching out to you. I don't give a damn if that is your birthday. Like, I want to ask that question of Latoya? Why should Christina have reached out to Kobe just because it was her birthday? Make it make sense, right? But Chelsea was there and they were talking, she was telling Chelsea about the fact that, Russell is, once again, there's a lack of communication. So then she says, well, he was a bachelor for 7 years before we got married. So he's just so used to this and he's so used to that. And I understand that. I'm not saying anything is wrong with him being a bachelor before they got married. Most men are bachelors before they get married to their wives. But when men get married to their wives, they learn to adapt to their relationship, right? They treat their wives as equals. They don't go around, most men, not all, most men treat their wives as equals. I mean, with a marriage, it's a partnership, 50-50. So you're not just dependent on yourself anymore. Someone else is dependent upon you. So yeah, I felt like she was just, for me personally, what I saw in this scene with Kobe was her just making excuses for her husband. That's really all I saw, was just a bunch of excuses, instead of you saying. And I like the fact that Chelsea said you need to sit down with him, have a conversation with him, telling him don't leave me out of out of this. Unfortunately, I will say I don't think that that's going to be the case. I still think that Russell is going to do whatever Russell wants to do. And like Carol said, he's going to use the Bible and religion to his advantage to back it up. Because you guys remember what episode, I think it was the second episode, when he quoted a Bible scripture to her. I was like, yeah, that's the type of person that I would stay away from. Like, I don't want to be with anybody that is going to regurgitate the Bible scriptures to me. Like, no. I believe in the Lord, and I believe in God and the Lord, and I know my Bible, but at the same time, I'm not going to go around in my day to day life and throw the Bible quotes at people and just expect people to live their life according to something that it was written like it was written years and years and years and years ago. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. So Yeah. So the next thing we got, you guys, is Christina and Brandon. So we see Christina and Brandon. So they're working on the showcase together. I was like, oh, it's very convenient that now that, Brandon is kind of on the outs, he goes to Christina for, help with this showcase. And I thought Christina said that she hasn't helped him since the last time he had that, that emotional affair with his artist. But hey, if she likes it, I love it. It ain't got nothing to do with me, right? So I guess they have a group text message. So Brandon tells her that Anthony has sent a text message to him in a group text telling him that, he has a slot. He has three slots on the showcase, right? Now, mind you, this is Brandon's showcase. Now, I like I've said plenty of times before, I'm not the biggest fan of Brandon and his man bun, but for you to come at me and tell me on my showcase how many slots I got and it's not your showcase, Anthony would have to literally see me, right? So he also said that Anthony told him that there are 25 slots on this particular showcase. And Brandon's like, that's a whole money grab. Now I don't know nothing about showcases, so I can't speak to how many people should be on a showcase. So if anybody knows that, please let me know in the live chat or in the comment section, right? So Brandon then said that he had been texting he had been texting the DJ, right? So the DJ and him came up with 20 slots, right? So the DJ is gonna have 10 slots and he's gonna have 10 slots. Now, the one thing that I want to question about Anthony is the fact that I didn't know Anthony was in the music. I know he works with Live Nation, but Live Nation deals with concerts. So I didn't know that he dealt with artists, so to speak. And then Disney and Marvel, those aren't artists. So I didn't know that he dealt with artists. But if he does, watching this show, I will say, watching this show, if Anthony still has anybody that wants to work with him, they're delusional, they're stupid, and they foolish because there's no way I would work with somebody like an Anthony. Anthony, like I said, he is bitch made and he's messy. Like I couldn't work with somebody like Anthony, just me personally. I just won't be able to work with a person like that. Because if you can bring your personal stuff into a business, that just will turn me all the way off. So after this scene with Brandon, we see a scene with Christina. So Christina is meeting up with this publicist, and her name is Brittany, right? So Christina's trying to work on getting herself back out there, and so she sat down with Brittany. They had a conversation, and then Christina mentioned the fact that Brittany had previously texted her, and she just wanted to address it, right? So come to find out, Antonia's messy ass had went to this woman, Brittany, and told Brittany, because Brittany had let Anthony know that she's going to be working with Christina, and so he said he found that interesting because Brandon and Christina don't rock with her like that, and I was just like, oh my god, you do realize I can say like, and it happens in my life. It's happened before where I don't necessarily rock with a person on a personal level. I don't like them, but in a business aspect, you're good at what you do, and I can put my personal aside to get money with you. That's not a problem. Like I have no issues with that. You cannot like a person for what they do in their personal life, right? But if you can separate the personal from the business, and if the person might be like, you got to be like, damn, you good at your job. I can't take that from you. So I got to give you kudos there. And I would like to work with you about on this project because I think that you're going to be the best fit to get me where I need to go. Couldn't it have been a situation like that? But instead, he want to make it like a whole like. I promise you, like the way Anthony tries to talk to people and treat people, he wouldn't like me because I would be all over Anthony's raccoon looking ass. Because look, I mean, his eyes, they just look like a raccoon's eyes. I promise you guys, I can't stand this man. And then why would you go and sabotage another person? And like that's why I say if anybody is still working with him today, something's wrong with you because this man is, like I said, messy, a Mitch, and he's a saboteur. Like, let's just keep it a buck. So so yeah, they had the conversation. I don't know where it went. I do know that Christina brought up Colby and Russell. Now, I wasn't really paying too much attention to what she was saying, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but was she trying to tell her that, I guess, that they had an issue with Brandon and with Kobe and Russell, and I think that she was trying to say that he's jumped in the middle of it. I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. So next up, we see as Russell is having Bible study. I was like, oh my God, this man and his Bible. Again, Russell, that is all Russell's identity is this damn Bible. That's what I'm getting from him. That's his identity is the Bible. So he invited all the men. So you got Bravo, as you guys can see on the screen. You got Bravo, Brandon, Russell, and Anthony. And I found it quite interesting that he invited Brandon when the last time he saw Brandon, he disinvited Brandon from Kobe's 30th birthday. He also told the man that, if he wasn't saved, he would have broken every bone in his body. Brandon, I got a problem with you once again, my dude. This man told you that he would break every bone in your body if he wasn't saved. There's no way you could contact me at this point. Like you don't need to, you won't have any way to contact me because you will be blocked from the phone, social media, any kind of way. You will not have my number. You will not be able to talk to me after you just literally sit there and said that you would break my every bone in my body. But like I said last week, I really would have challenged that nigga and said, if you're gonna break every bone in my body, let's go. Bring it, right? So Russell, he addressed that comment that he made to he addressed that comment. I didn't hear an apology come out of his mouth, but it is what it is. So then he also brings up the fact that he heard that Anthony was dragging his name and Kobe's name through the mud. So Anthony says that that never happened, but he did mention to Brittany that Brandon and Christina didn't rock with her. And again, like I said, what does that have to do with you? In his interview, he's talking about, she's my friend, and he's talking about he don't like my friend, so I have to let her know that has nothing to do with you. Mind your business. Like, I promise you, if I were any of these men, I would literally drag the hell out of Anthony's big ass. Harris says Russell can't be talking like that if he's trying to be a preacher. He can't, but I don't think he's trying to be like. It's given very much hypocritical because a preacher is all about love and light, not about breaking somebody's bones in a body. And I just don't think that the Kobe Cat comment was that deep. Now, I want you guys to tell me, did you guys think that Kobe Cat comment was like that deep for him to be doing this? Because, like I said in my last review, the Kobe Cat comment, it was just like something that a kid would say. And, actually, it very much so gave kindergarten. That's what it gave to me. And I just was like, brush it off. It ain't that deep. So Brandon and Anthony got into it with each other, right? And when they got into it with each other, Anthony just kept raising his voice, and I finally put two and two together why he does that. He did. I'm like, you're doing that as an intimidation tactic. You're trying to intimidate people, and I don't think that is working. You're not intimidating anybody. You're not scaring anybody. Because he's talking about Brandon is lying. He's talking about Brandon is lying because Brandon said he never told him that he doesn't rock with Brittany, right? Now, Brandon, I have another issue with you in this scene. If you didn't say it, stand 10 toes down on that you did not say, I don't rock with that woman. But you said maybe it came out wrong, maybe this, maybe that. No. If you did not say it, you say, nigga, I ain't say that shit. Maybe that's how you interpreted it, but it ain't what I said. Those words never came out of my mouth. I want Brandon to stand firm in what he says and does. Like, that's my issue with Brandon. That was my issue with Brandon. Like, you don't stand firm on the things that you say. Harris says it was a cheap shot. I don't think it was necessary to call Kobe a copycat when that was never her intention. She genuinely wanted to work with Christina because they are friends or supposed to be. Now, I agree. It was a cheap shot. Now, in regards to that whole situation, because I've been confused when it came down to it, I've if you guys go back to the episode when Kobe actually brought up the brand deal and listened to it, it kind of sounded one way because I think Christina had started her deal, and Kobe came in trying to do her deal, right? And I think there might have been a communication issue with the Harper Ray person. I think there might have been a miscommunication between that person because I think the Harper Ray person may have told Christina that, oh, your friend reached out to me and she's trying to she's trying to, come in and do a deal behind your back or something like that. That was the interpretation that I got. I think that's probably what it was. It was probably like a little game of telephone and the messages were getting distorted. But I mean, I definitely do think that the comment was very, lowbrow and cheap to call her a copycat. Like she said, they're both content creators, so it's not like they're doing anything new and original content. So yeah. So then back to this. So yeah, like I said, with Anthony, I just think Anthony, because he kept getting loud with Brandon at this thing, calling him a little boy. Then he do the same thing with that girl Chelsea, call her a little girl. Like that's the thing. You're trying to intimidate people and you're trying to scare people. Somebody like me, that wouldn't work on, but obviously it kind of works on Brandon, right? Brandon and his man bun, because Brandon was like, well, basically, in a sense, what Brandon said is we can agree to disagree, but I didn't say it that way, and maybe I should have said things differently. No, if you said that you never told him that you didn't rock with that woman, then stick with that. Stick with that and that alone. I never said I don't rock with that woman, and we good. So the last scene of this episode, you guys, we have Colby and Christina. So they're meeting up, right? Now, what I will say about Colby, she got on my last nerves in that interview. You know, talking about the fact that we're meeting up and you could have just called me. I have a kid. You also have a husband too. So you could have said, "Hey, babe, watch our daughter, and I'm gonna go meet up with Christina for a little bit." Because then your husband leave you with the daughter and went and looked at that gym. Do the same shit to him. Period. So they sat down, and Kobe said that and what I will say is I did agree with Kobe that, but actually it was Kobe who brought it up at the skating rink, right? But Christina could have said, "Hey, let's me and you have a one-on-one conversation and discuss this just ourselves instead of bringing it up in front of the group," right? So Christina says that I didn't accuse you of anything, and actually when they played the clip back, Christina didn't accuse Kobe of anything, but Kobe got a little bit animated, right? And so Christina saying she was just confused as to why she did that. Now, what I will say is I do believe that when it comes to with Christina and Kobe, and I can defend Kobe, right? I felt like in that situation, Kobe's feelings may have been hurt about the fact that, I text you, I called you, and you didn't respond to me. That could be one thing. And I can defend Christina because if you're talking about business with me, why are you texting me about business? Call me. Let's meet up. Let's sit down. Let's have a business meeting and talk about business. We're not going to conduct business via a text message. So I can see both sides of the coin, right? So then at one point, Kobe got mad at Christina because Christina had called. And so the reason why Russell knew that Anthony had said something to Brittany is because Christina had called Russell. So at this point, Kobe is raising her voice. I will say between Christina and Kobe, both of their voices are extremely annoying to me. Like, I'm sorry, Kobe's voice is annoying, so is Christina's. And I don't know whose voice is more annoying. Kobe has twice the number of followers of Christina. Even if she didn't want to do the collab out of pride, she could have done it to boost her brand. I did see that Kobe has more followers than Christina, and I mean I guess we can say that like she could have done it. She could have done it. I think, like I said, I think the issue is the fact that I'm not sure what this Harper Ray person said to Kobe and to Christina. So I think that's probably more specifically what the issue was, that this conversation got lost in translation. And like I said, I just think that for Kobe, I think Kobe could have set a personal meeting for them to discuss the business. Yes, Christina could have done it absolutely to boost her brand. Like shit, look at that girl's numbers compared to mine and be like, okay, she got more people, she got more followers than me. Let me pick her ear. Let's do this collaboration and let's work. Let's make this work, right? I definitely agree with that. I definitely do agree with that. So Kobe, like I said, she is raising her voice at Christina at this point and talking about, don't text my husband. I was like, oh my God. And it was just a screeching pitch coming out of her mouth. I was like, oh my God. Like, I get what you're saying, that if me and you haven't had a conversation, why the hell are you texting my husband? Like, I got what she was saying. I really, truly did. But it was this high pitched frequency in her voice that was just annoying my spirit. And it got to the point where, Christina couldn't even get a word in edgewise. And I was like, I get what you're saying, but at least let the woman chime in and be like, hey, I was just coming to your husband because, me and you haven't talked. And I just felt like he could be a buffer. I don't know what she could have said, but damn, nothing. What I will say is nothing got accomplished with that sit down. Nothing got accomplished. And I was like, what? So we literally just sat here just to argue for what? For what? And let me be honest with you guys. For me, this is just my personal opinion. They're both childish, Christina and Kobe. Because I will say, I believe that, Christina has definitely said some things to Brandon about Kobe and the influencer. You guys are both influencers. So again, you guys are going to do some of the same things. Nothing you guys are doing is new or original. So miss me with that, right? And then let's just go a little bit deeper. This argument that we're having about collaborations and brand deals, it's stupid and it's childish. Like, what are we arguing about? Like, I can see it if this were a situation where, you know, you took a business away from me and my family. Yes. You took money out of my pockets. Yes. But that's not what happened in this particular moment. Nobody lost anything because obviously this Harper Ray person wanted to work with both of you. And I think, like I said, I think the communication got lost in translation. I think she might have been trying to tell them both, hey, I'll work with you if you guys come together to make this deal work. But like I said, I think the communication might have been off. And then, like I said about Kobe, don't sit here and try to do business with me via text message. You can text me and say, hey girl, like, when are you free? Like, I spoke to Harper Ray. She said that you guys have a brand, you guys have a deal that you guys are working out. But I thought that it would be a good idea if maybe we went into business together and did a collaboration. So let me know when it's a good time for me to sit down with you and go over the logistics of this. And that way there's no miscommunication. It's not me stepping on your toes. It's just me saying, hey, I think that we would be beneficial. It would be better for us to do this together. My followers and your followers come together and we can make magic. That's really what it could have been. But that's really the episode, you guys. Please let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comments and in the live chat below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications and like the video, share the video, and I will catch you guys later. So, what's up for the channel is Real Housewives of Atlanta. That review will be up later tonight or tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time, I will be going live to do a review for the newest episode of the Real Housewives of New York. So hope to see you guys in the comments for Real Housewives of Atlanta and in the live tomorrow for Real Housewives of New York. So I will see you guys later. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.